If leadership or indeed life were governed by the certainty of mathematics, every team, every organization, every market fluctuation would be perfectly predictable. But I ask you, what happens when 12 human beings refuse to act like variables in your elegant equation? In my first week managing a fresh department at a major retailer, I was ready. I came from a strong background in engineering and mathematics. I mastered the formulas for inventory, for waste calculations, and for optimizing the DLCs, the expiry dates. I could calculate everything with analytical precision, but on my third day, my perfect linear world collapsed. It collapsed not because the numbers were wrong, but because I forgot something essential. People are not spreadsheets. I encountered resistance, skepticism about my age. One colleague resisted every instruction while another sabotaged a new process, simply to prove a point. In that moment, watching my perfect system fail, I realized my engineering brain was perfectly equipped for the world of logos, of logic calculation, but leadership through leadership demands understanding the world of pathos, of emotions and human complexity. This talk is the story of how mathematics shaped my discipline, how the reading of great literature guided my understanding, and how I discovered the empathy in the ultimate coefficient in the new formula for modern leadership. Math gives us a unique feeling that few other disciplines can: clarity, certainty, perfection. In engineering school, I internalized 3 non-negotiable values: discipline, precision, and the relentless pursuit of truth. This analytical rigor is unpredictably powerful. A perfect formula never lies. An equation never wakes up in a bad mood. A system never gets offended. This foundation is essential for creating robust, predictable systems. In the world of Euclid, everything starts with actions. Simple, accepted truths that we don't question. They are the fixed points that allow us to build an entire world of pure, inaccessible logic. Great leaders use this principle to define their own non-negotiable values and processes. They establish the action of the team. This gives us structure, this gives us order. But leadership is not Euclidean geometry. There are no fixed actions for people. The critical mistake of analytical leaders, the mistake I made, is simple. We treat people like constant in an equation. We expect them to perform predictably based on the input data. They are not. We expect them to perform in an input data people, and in reality a collection of unstable variables shaped by identity, by ego, by past trauma, by cultural background, and by unseen pain. The math of management feels spectacular because it lacks one thing: the human coefficient. Remember the senior colleague who resisted my instructions? I thought it was a process error. I went back and rechecked the data and it was flawless. The truth was deeper. It was a clash of legitimacy. He didn't trust me because I hadn't earned his respect. He didn't feel valued because I had failed to see his expertise. I was solving the wrong problem. In engineering, we solve for X. In leadership, the X is emotional. X equal fear, X equal ego, X equal identity, X equal past trauma, X equal silent pain. We must shift our focus from observing outcome to mapping the emotional function. It's not about finding the error in the calculation, it's about finding the worth in the human being. This is the moment where mathematics fails and the literature triumphs. Leadership is not an equation, it's a narrative. Think of Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird. Atticus Finch's most enduring power wasn't his legal acumen, his knowledge of the code. It was what I call structural empathy. His capacity to stand in another man's shoes. Every person in your team is a character with a backstory, not just a label on a roster. Leadership demands the narrative skills of a novelist, the ability to understand the complex internal logic of every character you lead. There's no environmental on earth less predictable than a retail floor. It is a high volatility human system. You manage last minute deliveries, broken machines, customer dissatisfaction, stress, and most crazily generations of silent frustrations and power dynamics. No algorithm can effectively model this level of human interaction. The data give you the what, the empathy must give you the why. Let's test this volatility. I want a quick show of hand in your work or studies. Which variable do you find most difficult to predict? Market fluctuations, machine failures, or the reaction of colleagues to criticism. We know what we fear. We fear the human variables that are not constant. The moment I achieved the turning point, the moment I stopped trying to correct my team and started trying to understand the team, was when I changed my equation. I shifted from prescriptive statement to open curiosity. I began asking, what makes your job harder? What is one thing that I did wrong last week? What would make this job meaningful again? And suddenly, everything changed. Trust increased, conflict diminished, and I gained something more valuable than obedience. Voluntary engagement. They volunteered ideas, they policed the process themselves. I went from being a task manager to being a systemic leader. My journey taught me that we don't discard the rigor of math, we elevate it. The new leadership equation is built on 3 pillars: discipline, empathy, and courage. This is the sentence. Machine needs comments, human needs meaning. Fixed algorithms work for inventory, yes, but people requires an adaptive leadership system. One that learns, corrects, and grows in real time. We must lead by adaptation, not execution. We must lead by listening to the variables, not silencing them. In math, a coefficient changes the behavior of the entire equation. In leadership, the human coefficient does the same. A single person's voice, a single emotion, or a single voluntary ideas can transform a team from a rigid, predictable process into a self-optimizing system that is the ultimate goal. So, my challenge to you is simple. Stop searching for perfect formulas. Start cultivating human stories. Look beyond the numbers, listening to the narrative, and lead with the clarity of a mathematician, but the deep understanding of a novelist. Because in the end, 2 plus 2 equal 4, but humans will always equal something greater. Thank you.